Love and relationship reading for you. So the number 3 in tarot, like the Empress here, is associated with growth orientation. So expansion is there, fertility is there with the 3s. The right kind of ingredients in order to allow a breakthrough to happen. So right now there is a bigger breakthrough at play. That's what the 3s are telling me. The Queens are also a 3, and you've got the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords. So in the up and coming energy, as well as the present energy, there is indicators here for more development and something else to happen, to grow. There's still some wisdom to be gained around this relationship, and it looks like pretty positive in some ways. The 3 of Swords is also here. Still a 3, of course, but even visually a little more triggering, right? But the 3 of Swords certainly doesn't always have to be bad. In fact, because it's a 3 and because it's in this whole tarot deck, it's obviously very necessary for us to experience at times. So there is something to be learned through a revelation, or sometimes even a more painful revelation or realization. This could just look like your person giving you some tough love. The very first card that came through, the 10 of Wands. I'm going to go a little deeper and clear these cards up too with more from the deck. As well as that, your person is actually coming through with the 10 of Cups energy. Optimistic, eager, happy and content in this relationship right now, satisfied and happy. They're coming through as, on the surface at least. I'll clear a little deeper into that card in an extended reading, which I'll link below. So, but for now, back to you, Taurus. The 10 of Wands is telling me a few things at the start of this reading. Like, A, you're tired. B, there has been a problem, or there has been an issue, and it's being resolved, at least. C, the 10 of Wands also is representing that, like, challenges are soon to be overcome. But I have to then say, okay, well, there's challenges. And what does it look like to me? Consciously to you, it's a communication thing. That's what you think it is, and you know, maybe that's a huge part of it. And it seems like what you're aware of is these pages, the Page of Wands, or the Page of Swords and the Page of Rods or Wands, that there is a kind of I guess, like, both, one person trying to talk to the other and the other shutting down. Quite often a dynamic, but you might be very aware of that right now. Subconsciously, I'm getting the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. So subconsciously, that suggests to me that there's something a little more to it. Whether or not you recognize this, it's coming through in a subconscious way. We'll clear it up. It's suggesting that maybe there's a greater need for control on your part than you're willing to admit, or even perhaps even realize that there's a big part of you that wants control here. Some of you are saying, well, I'm just going to go away for a while from this relationship. I'm going to go away for the summer. I'm going to go travel. See how I feel when I get back. Okay, that's coming through for some. Let's start clearing these cards up. Okay, something just like shot out of the deck, and it was alerting me to say, go back to the bottom of the deck, right? And it's the same cards that were here. The Wheel of Fortune and the 5 of Wands. They were at the bottom of the deck. They caught my eye. I didn't go into them. I guess I need to. Dealing with fire signs, Taurus, dealing with fiery bursts of energy even, dealing with somebody very willful, motivated. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune and the 5 of Wands. For those of you who have been successfully coming through 5 to 6 of Wands energy with the help of the Wheel of Fortune, you've had to face issues head on with your person lately. Something that is forcing you guys to look at serious things in the relationship, but for the most part, you've been having success doing that. Okay, let's clear up the 10 of Wands. I'll start clearing some of these cards up now so we can get a little deeper into the messages. If this reading resonates, consider subscribing. 8 of Wands, or 8 of Pentacles, my bad. And another Page of Cups. So after like sleeping on it, 4 of Swords and the Page of Cups, you kind of, or they, this energy could be coming from them. I'm sensing like a little more coming from them now, picking up the Fool card and the Ace of Swords. They've had some sort of a realization around being able to communicate around a certain area, and like taking a bit of space was important, or maybe space is important right now. Or just focus on your own things, focus on what you're doing, helping the relationship. Let's have a look at the growth that's happening currently in the relationship, and I see that as the Empress. I also see, because this is Venus is associated with this card, we have got the Venus in Taurus as I'm recording. Venus is your ruling planet, so I'm also seeing the embodiment of you with the Empress card, Taurus, which is a great energy to be in, especially when it comes to matters of the heart, like this Empress here. But Queen of Rods coming through with that. And would you look, your major arcana card now at the bottom of the deck, Taurus, this is all about you, your empowerment in this relationship. It's almost like the Three of Swords won't affect you as much anymore now. There's been healing done. You've taken out some of those swords, giving yourself more credit that like how you would have felt about something before, what your values were, or even like what your triggers were more so. It's not really like that anymore. You've healed a lot. I'm really liking that for how you are showing up in the relationship at the moment. Your energy looks great. I'll clear up the Page of Swords now. Seems to be what you are aware of wanting to do, and it is this good old-fashioned communication, but is the person listening or engaging you? You're discovering how engaging you are. Maybe that person hasn't realized it. The Three of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck. You know the approach to take. I think you have a very clear a vision around how this is actually going to go for you. Another three. I mean, it looks like this all goes the way you want it. Like, you're happy with the approach you take. I have you again quite close to the bottom of the deck, the Knight of Cups with the King of Pentacles, which is fixed Earth Taurus. So I mean, your base. I'm looking at the Four of Pentacles in reverse and the Nine of Pentacles together. It's the only shadow energy I'm seeing coming through in this reading at this time. Even the Three of Swords is like, okay, bring it. Like, you're good around this. The Page of Pentacles, so another communicator. And we'll pull another for the Nine of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles, another three. They're looking right at, okay, so there is another relationship in your life. Maybe it's not the one you've been thinking of during this reading. Sorry about that. But there is a relationship that certainly, it's this kind of dynamic plays out in another one of your relationships, is what I'm trying to say. But there's more of a maybe familial tie here, or friendship or work situation that's very familiar to you. You're like, oh yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like this with such and such too. But if there is anything about coming up around control, just examine the other relationships in your life and see where it plays out, basically, is what I'm thinking here. But also, Taurus, Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, that very like beautiful earthy energy we're getting in this reading with the King of Pentacles too. I mean, like, we're really seeing the embodiment of you knowing what's best for yourself at this time, seeing yourself clearly. Nobody's opinion or if anything like that would be coming up would really have much of an impact on you at the moment, because you're like, I know myself so well, like, so you are not easily manipulated in this relationship, I don't believe. But I did see a shadow energy of maybe like subconscious need for control or desire for control. Take what resonates really with these messages and leave the rest. All of these threes, I love three, three, but like, you're getting so many. So, I mean, it is like a lot of growth happening now. You have all queens in this reading, and the Empress, and the Three of Pentacles, and the Three of Swords. I'm going to look at the Ten of Cups and the Page of Rods together. Five of Wands and the Five of Swords. Right, so this is the person you're dealing with, I think, that's coming through, and you know it's not over with them yet, or they're still holding some sort of a grudge, or they're still touchy about a certain subject. So there is this energy of them ignoring perhaps your want to communicate about this, your actual heart's desire to communicate about this. The Three of Swords. Okay, so we'll look at the Three of Swords, and we will look deeper into the energy of the Ten of Cups and the Five of Swords in the extended reading. That's why I kind of said Ten of Cups, at least on surface, looked a certain type of way. So what are you embracing in the Three of Swords? Because it is still something that I think is really even positive here. Yeah, so positive. One of the most positive cards in the deck, the Star card. This is where all the healing happens for you, the sustained healing, or just like the catharsis for some, the beginning, the revelation. But some it's like, oh, that doesn't sting the way it does anymore. I can actually find humor in that. I can laugh about that. I can get the joke around it now. So that's when you know that there's been a lot of healing done. Or that you have, it's not your shadow anymore. You've integrated that part. Let's have a look at the two queens, the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords. But there's great things happening for you on a personal level, it seems, at this time, facilitated by the relationship or just how you're showing up in the relationship. The two queens, let's look. Ace of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. It looks like opportunity now we get to stabilize, right? We've been 3-3-3. You have to eventually sort of recalibrate it. It would be exhausting to just be on a constant kind of growth cycle with the person you're with. Sometimes you just want to sit down and relax and watch a comedy, and it doesn't need to always be like, oh wow, we're learning and we're growing. Okay, so you do kind of feel a sense of peace and quiet restored. By the end of all of this, you'll kind of know where you stand. For some, there's something coming up about a Four of Wands situation, which can often be a home domestic situation with all the Queen energy too. Can be also very much centered around like the home and hearth, or time spent alone and things like that. So I see something maybe coming in with the Ace of Pentacles is a nice indication for some completion for some around a house project or a build, or something like a move, or could be something coming up more stable for a promotion at work for one of you, and it changes things significantly. That's what I've got for you, Taurus. Thank you for sticking around and watching, and consider subscribing if you liked this video.